Continuing on from the previous video, we'll be setting up for our first story in the White Lion, then taking a look at the monster's turn. Kingdom Death Monster is made up of 3 game phases: the Showdown phase, the Settlement phase, then the Hunt phase. In this first showdown, our starting survivors will perform combat against the White Lion. Monsters in this game are controlled by AI decks, so let's prepare. These are the White Lion AI cards. In this first story, the Lion will have a predetermined deck. There are 3 ranks of AI cards you have to worry about for now: Basic, Advanced, and Legendary. Take one of each for the following basic cards: Claw, Chomp, Size Up, Power Swat, and Grasp. Now take one each for the following advanced cards: Maul, Terrifying Roar, and Enraged. No legendary cards will be used in this scenario. Now set the Claw card aside while you shuffle the other AI cards. These are placed in the face down stack on the monster control panel in the area marked for the AI deck. These are hit location cards, which are used to track where the White Lion is hit when attacked. We will set aside the card labeled Strange Hand and shuffle the remaining hit locations. Like the AI cards, these are placed on the monster control panel in the area for hit locations. The Strange Hand card is then placed on top of the deck. This is the basic action and monster reference card for the White Lion. On its front, there is a list of attributes. For example, during the first story, it has 6 movement and 6 toughness. The back of the card tells us the White Lion's basic action. This is placed on the monster control panel as well. This is the Showdown board. Around it, we can place our record sheets and gear grids. Now, we place the miniatures. The White Lion is placed in the center of the Showdown board. Then, each miniature can be placed anywhere on the board as long as it's exactly 6 spaces away from the White Lion miniature. These are the allowed squares. Now, the showdown begins. Each showdown is played in rounds. First, the White Lion will take its turn, and after completion, the survivors will take their turn as well. This is the monster controller tile. It is given to a new player every round, passed clockwise. That player will take the monster's turn that round, and also handle any reactions the monster has to survivors during their turn. They also control their own survivor. The monster controller has a special bonus. This allows the controller an additional insanity if they target their own survivor as the monster. Now, the monster attacks, and the predetermined AI card is drawn from the top of the deck. Claw. The first action on this card tells you to pick a target, which is one of the survivors. It gives you 3 options. First, the closest threat that the White Lion is facing and is in range. Second, the closest threat in the lion's field of view. Third, it targets no one and instead uses its sniff ability. Starting at the top of the card, players move through each item until a survivor satisfies that rule. If more than one survivor can be targeted, the monster controller chooses. Let's talk about each of these requisites. Closest threat means the closest standing survivor, as knockdown survivors are not a threat. Facing means all the spaces in front of the monster miniature. In range means within the monster's movement. If the monster can end adjacent to a survivor, then they are in range. The White Lion has 6 movements in this scenario. In field of view, as shown in this diagram, means anywhere that isn't the blind spot. The 2 spaces directly behind the White Lion are its blind spot. In this example, there are no survivors that fulfill this first rule: closest threat, facing, in range. So, instead it will target the closest threat in field of view. It will not choose Hephaestus as he is in one of the lion's blind spots. Instead, it chooses Aphrodite to target as she is the closest threat in the field of view. In the third option on the card where there is no target, the lion will use its instinct, Sniff. When this happens, the lion ends its turn, and until the end of the next round, all survivors are threats regardless of other effects, like being knocked down. Once a target has been chosen, the White Lion is on the move. The White Lion moves towards its target any number of spaces up to its current movement, which is 6. A monster always turns to face its target. The lion will move in the most efficient and direct route possible, moving 1 space at a time. If the lion is unable to reach its target, it moves the maximum amount of spaces towards it, faces them, and ends its turn. Moving the max number of spaces allowed by the movement attribute is known as a full move. Once the white lion is adjacent to its target, it attacks. This is based on the AI card drawn, in this case, Claw. Speed determines the number of attack rolls, which is 2 in this case. 2 d10s are rolled. Accuracy is the number that a roll must meet or exceed in order to hit the target. Claw has an accuracy of 2, so any results of 2 or higher are hits. If there are no hits, the monster misses and proceeds to the next action on the card if there is one. If there is none, the card is then discarded. In the next video, we'll be going over survivor damage and other effects the monster can cause on the survivors.